From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is the News 8 Daily 8 for Wednesday, October 12th. We're going to have some on and off scattered showers this morning and then more widespread showers this afternoon. Wind gusts up to 35 miles per hour today, so it will feel pretty windy. High temperatures in the low 70s, so we will feel mild in that arena at least. And we had some breaking news we were following this morning. IMPD now says that somebody fired shots at a police officer overnight. We started following the story after a large gathering in a neighborhood of officers showed up surrounding 37th and Ralston. It was just after 1 this morning. For hours, officers and detectives worked the scene with evidence markers in at least 2 spots. This morning around, say, 6:30, the department confirmed that it did start when someone fired shots at an undercover officer and his vehicle. Police say that nobody was hurt and the officer did not fire back. There is no word yet what led up to the gunfire or if anyone's in custody. Early voting for the November midterm election begins today across Indiana. You can cast a ballot this morning. Polls open this morning at 8 at the City County building. It will stay open until 5 on weekdays. Then starting on the 29th through November 6th, you can vote weekdays from 8 to 6 and on weekends from 11 to 6. On Election Day Eve, November 7th, voting is open from 8 to noon. In order to vote in person, you must bring a photo ID. Your name, which needs to be similar to the name on your voter registration card. Your ID either must be current or have expired sometime after the date of the last general election. It must be issued by the state of Indiana or the United States government. The last day of early voting will be November 7th. Marion County will have 187 voting locations on Election Day, November 8th. It should also be noted parking is free for voters on the west side of Delaware Street between Washington and Market if you're voting downtown Indy. Early voting will be available in each Marion County township starting October 29th. Hours are 8 to 6 weekdays, and again, weekend hours 11 to 6. The Boone County Courthouse opened at 8 o'clock this morning as well for early voting. The Johnson County Courthouse will be open at 8:30. Also open at 8 was Hendricks County Government Center, the Morgan County Administration Building, and the Hamilton County Government and Judicial Center. The Hamilton County Fairgrounds is also an early voting center and opens at 9. At 11, voters in Hancock County can head to the annex to vote. The 2 candidates for Marion County prosecutor are explaining their contrasting strategies to curb the crime rate in Indianapolis. Democrat Ryan Mears is running for his first full term. He took over in 2019 when Terry Curry stepped down due to health reasons. He says working through the ranks of the prosecutor's office helped him secure a high conviction rate.
Number one, if you look at our conviction rate, it's our job to make sure that we're holding people accountable. And again, we have a 90% conviction rate on homicide cases, which is certainly a reflection of the level of professionalism that we have inside the prosecutor's office and our ability to get in the courtroom and win cases. But I think the second part of that, and one of the more important things, is we're also working to rebuild that trust between the community and law enforcement, the criminal justice system.
Mears' Republican opponent, Cindy Carrasco, says she doesn't buy that argument.
I believe that every individual's interaction with the criminal justice system is an opportunity. It's a responsibility for us to be able to put them on a better path. But that's not going to happen if we continue to give people passes, if we continue to cut plea deals that puts serious, violent offenders back out on the streets.
You can see more of the interviews with Mears and Carrasco this Sunday on Wish TV's All Indiana Politics. It airs at 9:30 in the morning. And today, city leaders give a progress report on IMPD's gunshot detection program. The technology promises to quickly tell police when and where someone fires a gun and is a key part of the city's crime strategy. The department is wrapping up the second of 6 phases testing systems before deciding which one to go with full time. Today, Mayor Joe Hogsett will join IMPD leaders about how Phase 2 went, what's next, and what will happen when the testing is done. Today's event started at 10 o'clock this morning at 10 East Arts Hub on 10th Street. To the war in Ukraine, at least one person is dead following more missile strikes from Russia. Officials in the southeastern part of the country released some video of their aftermath, and it is devastating. They say 12 missiles hit public facilities yesterday, including a car dealership, school, and medical dispensary. The latest attack follows a Russian wave of missiles into the country that killed at least 19 people. The G7 condemned the attack. during an emergency meeting. During that meeting, Ukraine's president met virtually with the group, asking for more modern and effective air defense systems to combat the attacks. The Pentagon earlier announced plans to deliver the first 2 advanced anti-aircraft systems to Ukraine in the coming weeks. President Joe Biden says Russian President Vladimir Putin badly misjudged his ability to invade Ukraine and suppress its people.
I think he is a rational actor who's miscalculated significantly. I think he thought, you may recall, I pointed out that they were going to invade, that those 100,000 or more troops there, and no one believed that he was going to invade Ukraine. You listen to what he says. If you listen to the speech he made after, when that decision was being made, he talked about the whole idea of he was needed to be the leader of Russia that united all the Russian speaker. I mean, I just think it's irrational.
A Kremlin spokesperson is calling out the U.S. for its involvement in Russia's war with Ukraine. They said despite American troops not being sent to fight, the actions by the U.S. are de facto involvement. The Justice Department is urging the Supreme Court to dismiss the legal fight over documents seized from the Florida estate of former President Donald Trump. The court is weighing an appeal from Trump's team, asking the justices to allow a special master to review about 100 classified documents. Last month, the lower court limited the special master's review to a large batch of non-classified material. Trump's attorneys say access to the classified records would ensure the documents are truly classified. The Justice Department argues Trump has no personal claim to the documents, nor is there any evidence that he declassified them. The full Supreme Court could rule within days. It would take 5 justices to agree to grant Trump's request. All charges are now dropped against Adnan Syed, the man who became famous after the widely popular Serial podcast raised doubt over his conviction. Syed spent 23 years in prison for the 1999 killing of his former girlfriend, Hae Min Lee. A judge vacated his conviction after additional DNA testing excluded him as a suspect. Prosecutors now say that they will keep pursuing justice for Lee, but that the case against Syed is closed. Syed's brother says the family can finally move on.
Something Ms. Mosby said in her press hearing that I appreciated a lot, that not many people know, is that she said for 23 years the family has been in prison. You know, a lot of people, they don't understand that it wasn't just Adnan that was affected. We were all affected.
The victim's family attorney criticized prosecutors for not notifying them of the decision to drop charges ahead of time. The state's attorney for the city of Baltimore says she did reach out to the Lee's family attorney, but had not heard back. To business headlines, mortgage rates are soaring and credit availability is the lowest it's been in over 9 years. The rate on the popular 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is over 7%. Lenders are concerned a weaker economy can lead to a rise in mortgage delinquencies, so that they're being more cautious in loaning money for home loans. TikTok now appears to be copying Amazon's playbook. TikTok is looking to create a new logistics and warehousing network in the United States to support its e-commerce efforts, according to several job openings recently posted to its hiring site and LinkedIn page. Like other social networks, TikTok has expanded into e-commerce to add revenue opportunities. The Labor Department released a proposal Tuesday that could make it possible for gig workers to be reclassified as employees rather than contractors. The proposed rule sent stocks of gig companies like DoorDash, Lyft, and Uber down. The companies have argued that flexible schedules are attractive to workers. More than 2 years into the coronavirus pandemic, the world just feels all around grumpier. Some new research published finds that the personalities of Americans have in fact changed. They've gotten more unpleasant, and we're more argumentative, less diligent in their home and work lives, less likely to strike up a conversation with a stranger or call an old friend, and less excited about new things. Ohio has beaten Indiana out in a bid for a massive battery plant. Honda and LG announced yesterday that Fayette County, Ohio, will get it. The leaders considered the Honda assembly plant in Greensburg, Indiana, as a possible location. The Ohio facility will exclusively produce batteries for Honda vehicles made in the United States. The companies claim the new plant will lead to 2,200 jobs. Construction starts next year, with the plant scheduled opening for 2025. To the Pacers now, the team is gearing up for next Wednesday's NBA regular season start. There are 2 more preseason games first. Our Angela Morian caught up with the coach and players at practice as they prep for a new season.
The base of our young talent has such upside potential. that it's really exciting.
The Pacers have just 1 week to iron things out before the season starts next Wednesday. The emphasis has been on defense and getting one of the youngest teams in the NBA ready to face the vets.
I like what we're doing. We've changed a little bit of our approach, but we spent a very big chunk of time on it, and I do see us getting better. The game tomorrow night against New York, the second preseason game, will be a good test for us.
I think the preseason's more for building, right? So when the season comes, you're ready, and I think by the time it's time to go, I think guys will be ready, and I think it'll be really exciting. We're really young, obviously, got a lot of room to grow, a lot of fresh faces, so it'll be a lot of fun.
What the Pacers lack in experience, they're trying to make up for with the young, energetic talent. That includes point guard Tyrese Halliburton. At 22 years old, he's already had to take on a major leadership role with this team. It's his third year in the league, but he says he has plenty of experience dealing with young teams.
I've been on 2 young teams already in my 2 years in the NBA. There's ebbs and flows that come with it, right? And something I talked about was when we get in practice, we've been competing really hard, really getting after each other, and that's important. And the hard part for young teams is to translate to do that every night against other players, right? When you don't know these guys, it's different. You don't know what to expect. So we just got to be able to continue to do those things.
Leadership, is a big part of Tyrese, but he brings the energy, but also his work ethic. Tyrese wants to work, he wants to win, and it's a great thing to have on this team.
It's an exciting time for the Pacers for a lot of reasons. Tyrese being our starting point guard, the young core of talent that we have are among many of them.
The Pacers host 2 preseason games this Wednesday and Friday before the season tips off against Washington next week. Angela Moran, Wish TV, WishTV.com, and follow us on Facebook.
And finally, a Purdue football great is making a play as an Indianapolis restaurateur. In a new post, Walk-On's Sports Bistro confirms it will open in Indianapolis. Drew Brees is a co-owner of the chain. A report in Restaurant News says it'll go in on Meridian just south of Georgia Street where Taps and Dolls used to be. There are dozens of walk-ons, mostly in the southeast, and one so far in Indiana and West Lafayette. No word yet when it will open. This has been your News 8 Daily for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway. Online at wishtv.com and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update on demand for even more on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.